Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm here with Miss Light of Autism. Apparently, we wait for Sash. For Karen, if she will show up. We're gonna bring her to the screen. While I'll just have Sash talk about how she's autistic. So she'll just talk to us in a little bit about her living with autism and what you should know about her as an individual. Okay, Sash, go ahead.
Hi guys, good evening and good afternoon. Uh, Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Sarah Busigori. I'm the current light of autism, Kenya. Uh, my nickname is Sash. People know me on Facebook as Sash. About myself, Uh, I'm a fun, down to earth uh, person who's living with autism. Um, yeah, There's a lot about me. There's a lot, but I would say I like. Uh, can I say what I like? I like, what I dislike. So the things that I like laughing a lot. I like a lot of things to do with drama. Actually, I got it from my dad. He's a student of arts back in college. So I inherited that love from him. So anything involving Dracula, vampire movies, stuff like that. Just the arts, basically the arts. I love music as well because it's therapeutic. I love art. I draw at times when I get inspired. Um, yeah, and I love IT because I recently discovered I like coding. Yeah.
So, Sash, tell us how your peers treated you when they found out you are different.
Um, my peers treated me differently. Because okay, I can say yes, they were mean, and I can't really say ignorant, but I don't know. It takes time to understand a person living with autism.
All right. So, what did you do about it?
Of course, I had bad times where I really felt alone. Like, uh, how come they can't take time to know me and understand me to actually be friends with me? So for me, it really hurt my self-esteem as a person.
Yeah. Let me try and add Karen and see if she still her connection is good. If not, we'll
Uh,
wait.
mm,
I don't know. She's still Karen.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, now I'm alright.
yeah, but you're fuzzy. You have to move. We can see only half of you.
Oh, okay. Let me adjust my laptop.
Adjust while I'm talking to Sash.
Okay.
So, Sash, I was asking, so how did you cope with the rest? How did you teach the rest when you like as you were growing? How did your mom help you sensitize about autism around your friends, families?
mm, well, it's hard because no one understood autism around the time where when I was tiny. So I would get those comments like, "Oh, maybe she's badly behaved child, or she's just too much. Because I was extremely hyper as a child, very hyper. So for that, both family and friends wouldn't understand that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Karen, we can see half of your face. I don't know. She can hear us. Yeah,
that
in
is
slow motion.
No,
Can
I'm
you hear us,
okay.
Karen?
Yes, I am. I can hear you
Okay.
perfectly.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you, but you're fuzzy. You're fuzzy, but just talk.
Hi guys. I'm Karen. Sorry for the delays that I had recently, but I'm alright right now. So yeah, so I'd like to welcome you all to our chat. Feel free to just join us from wherever you are. Yeah.
All right. Um, Talk to us about a little bit about you, Karen.
I about myself. I am I'm 39. Um, I was diagnosed autistic when I was a kid growing up in 1984. So autism wasn't known during that time. So no one knew anything about autism in the 80s. So there was a lot of disability stigma at that time. So yeah, but I can tell you about myself. I'm the founder of Kenyans Living with Autism. I'm also the co-founder of the Pan-African Work Group of Autistics, and I'm also part of the Autistic Planning Summit. So, and I'm also a former alumni of Strathmore University Project Autism Tech Training. Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Oh, tell us about the Strathmore Tech program.
Um, so the Strathmore Tech University, I was introduced to it in 2018. It's a training program for autistic adults where they specialize in IT. Um, in areas like coding, like let's say using HTML, Java, and also Android as well. So it's a very good course, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So what would you both of you like to tell us? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Okay.
can hear you.
What would you like to tell other individuals who okay, for me I have an autistic son. So what
Hmm.
about talk to people who don't know you as an autistic candidate? Sash.
yeah. I would tell them that just because we're different doesn't mean we can't understand some things. Because so many people assume that we don't understand things, like in situations where like, oh, because we can't express well, we don't know what uh, call, I don't know what explanation I could I
It's
don't know
okay.
how I could explain it better, but we actually take in what someone tells us, or just we take in communication. It's the only thing is response. Response is now a difficulty, but not as much as for the non-verbals. I know it is really hard to respond because um they're not like us who are actually verbal and can actually express. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So tell us, Karen, what would you like to tell? Yeah, you are okay right there. What would you like to tell people like who don't know you about autistics?
Um, I can say that because I I want people to know that being autistic is not a punishment. It's not something that needs to be taken away from. I think embrace somebody's difference a little bit more because I know it's hard. I know autism can be really kind of hard, but I am just proud to be who I am, and I'm proud to be autistic. So what I can say is, um, it took me a while to discover that I'm autistic, but now I'm happy to be who I am, and I would like to encourage parents and parents out there of autistic children, learn about them, learn about who they are, and you'll be so surprised that they can learn so much from you. They can teach you so many things that you do not know, and yeah, take it from me and Sash and other autistics out there, and be able to see who we are as autistic people.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so, given the opportunity that you guys like, if you're given an opportunity to, let's say, teach autism community, not individuals like me, people like you,
Mhm.
what can you, what can you help them with? Like, because I noticed both of you are all technology savvy or something.
Um, I would teach them about communication methods because I think my biggest worry is about communication, autistic communication, where I think parents find it a little bit hard to understand about how we as autistic people, um, how autistic people communicate. And that's a thing that we need to focus on in the area of autistic communication. Learn how autistic communication varies from non-autistic communication. It doesn't have to be very verbal, right? There are like, especially if your child like is non-speaking, there are other communication methods that they can be able to learn, and also parents can also be able to learn like the AAC device, which is so commonly used by non-speakers. So those are the main. There's also PECs, sign language, etc. So learn various methods of communication. And if your child is, let's say, has apraxia, and they cannot tell you, they really find it very hard to express themselves. Then you can just go through those methods.
Okay, I don't know what that sound was.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Karen, you're explaining something very important, but something we could
Mm.
I couldn't hear the last part.
Sorry, I can repeat that again.
Yes, please.
Especially for autistic kids who have speech apraxia, those who struggle. Sorry, I know I'm kind of in the camera, but anyway, um, those who have speech dyspraxia. So there are other methods that they can use to communicate better. So yeah, the ones I've mentioned about, that is the assisted communicative device, sign language, etc. Yeah.
Thank you. What about you, Sash?
Um, like a way of communicating between, I can say that since we have like a sense of communication between the non-verbals and verbals, I think um through now learning things like Karen, now communicating with them and actually teaching them would be a little bit um I don't know, the child or the person will feel more at home because they also feel this person is also like them, but they don't really know that we all have a condition. Yeah.
Okay. Karen, what would you like to what else would you like to say?
In terms of the other activities, I think what I can say is that now that we're moving towards, I recently attended a webinar about the CRPD. In One has invited me over, so uh, teaching your children about their disability rights, which is under the United Nations Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. They need to know about their disability rights in the event whereby when they become disabled adults, they can be able to advocate for themselves. Allowing your children to speak for themselves is so important, because if you speak for them, then like, well, will they be able to express themselves in that event? So I'm just, I'm for that feeling of you allowing your autistic children to just be able to advocate for themselves, even when they're at that age, they can be able to advocate for themselves. And one thing I've noticed, and one thing I've learned from other autistic activists is that let autistic people be who they are. Let them speak for themselves. They can be able, because the saying goes, "Nothing is about us without us."
All right. I know you're frozen, but we can hear you clearly, so we'll just continue. Uh, so, so we were talking about what or how you could teach, because all of you are tech savvy. What would you say or talk to people like what would you tell the government? I know a lot of let's talk about employment.
Mm.
Talk about employment in Kenya.
Yeah. Employment in Kenya is
With
I
people with
can't really
disabilities, yes.
express more because we're not recognized at all. It's like you're put in a category. If you're disabled, you're disabled. That is how it is in Kenya, and it's a really sad thing. It's a very sad thing because um for these parents who have kids living with autism, they want to be able to see their child become independent one day, and all this negativity, or let's say ignorance, is always put in front. And that's why most of us who are living with disabilities, we
Mhm.
find it hard to get employed.
Okay,
Yeah.
Karen, are you gonna add to that?
Yeah, there. I will add to what Sash is saying. Yes, there's a huge disconnect with employment, because still there's still a lot of stigma related to disabilities, and people just don't understand disabilities in general. And there's a lot of stigma going on in relation to what disabilities is. So they are not well informed about disabilities. So yeah, so it's a very big concern, because government officials are just plainly ignorant
And
about
they're
it.
not giving opportunities. Yeah, that is the problem.
Yeah,
I think that what the government should do is try and make ways easier to train the people who have disabilities and not
yes,
expect like them to cater for themselves, because already they have difficulties on how even
exactly.
to help themselves. So
Yeah.
that's a key role where government should play is
Mm,
maybe
Mhm.
develop trainings for PWDs so that
mm,
they can help themselves and also help them with jobs like placements. But
very
it's
true.
always that we have people who really advocate, then the government advocating for PWDs, but then it's like they have no reality touch with really PWDs or what's happening.
Yeah. Also to add, my main concern right now is that the government, we already have just checked through the UN website. We are signatory to the CRPD, and we've ratified it. But the problem is we have not implemented that, and already we're trying as much as we can to implement the Irish model, the IMM model, and that is now what we want to try and do, to implement the Irish model of disability, so that in the event that if our country violates disability rights, then they are held accountable by the United Nations. So that is very important that we want to try and focus our attention on, and to ensure that this Article 33 of the UNCRPD Act is adhered to by all means in Kenya.
Wow, yeah, that's true. All right. You have anything we wrap up this program? Anything you want to add, Sash?
I would like to add. I can't really say we should focus on the government because we've been trying to get the government to come together and, like, establish some things. We can also do it as a society, and once society is doing so, obviously the government will keep attention. Because I think in Kenya, uh, it's all about, it's really political. Everything is political, which is really depressing because you find most people, they help themselves, but don't get help by government.
All
Yeah.
right. What about you, Karen? Let's wrap it up. His micro is talking. Let's wrap it up, Karen.
So, what I'd really want to emphasize is we don't have to rely on what government is doing, because at the end of the day, they'll still not understand what disabilities is because they're still mainly ignorant. I think the way forward for us, let us, if we're focusing on disabilities, let disabled people decide on their decision making matters, because it's who they are. And especially autistic people like myself and Sash and other autistics that are out there, let them be the ones to decide on what works for them and what does not work for them in terms in terms of understanding their rights as disabled people, number one. So yeah, so it's very important that people needing disabled people, especially autistics, need to be trained on their disability rights. That is number one. Number two, uh, hold campaign awareness campaigns that talk from the ground up, because we're kind of like, going up and not to the ground levels, because I have seen that there's so much we can do to ensure that people, autistic people, can be empowered. We need to empower autistic people out here. It's not easy for us to be out here, yet other autistics are not able to empower themselves. So we need to make sure that we empower other autistic people.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, you're right. We really need to empower each other. You guys need to group, find a way of
Yeah.
really, talking out. It's so hard to with our government policies. They need strong people. They need to band together. Actually, organizations need to band together. The problem is organizations, everybody wants to go solo and do their things. But if people and organizations come together, they can really make things happen. But um that's the best thing that you could do is band together, speak in uniform, and maybe something, maybe the government will listen, even if we can't say that we are far from, at least we are somewhere, compared to where we were. Now at least they've categorized us, or categorized autism as a problem or a disability, not really a problem, but a disability, where hence it wasn't in the laws of Kenya. It was like others, we were all, autism was all included in, you know but yeah, so I think Karen has a good points, usage too. So I hope I'm gonna bring you back, and I hope Karen's video will be, or she can bring us up in a way that we can see her. I think she's having
Yes.
technical, but we could hear you clearly.
Thank
That
you.
is the most important thing. We
Yeah.
had all, it was really clear, despite of your
Mm.
technical issues. But yeah, we
Thank
got the
you.
message, and I hope people out there would take time and listen to what you guys have said, and reach out and ask anything that they would like to ask. And I think that we look for ways forward. If there's a way we can, as a community, as an autism community, we can even figure out how to start our own something, and bring, something like a job. We create a job, we create a training within ourselves, you know, because it looks like if the more we depend on you depend on the outside people who have no, they don't make, maybe they wouldn't like work as you would love to, but there are people who are really willing to support. People out there, they can support. You just have to have an idea of what you really want to do, and then you reach out. As difficult as it will be, or it is, we have to do something at the end of the day, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you guys go. I will talk to you um, uh, after this, and then we will continue with this topic. I think it's really a good topic. I think we really need to hear more of what you guys have to say. I
Thank you
really,
so
really
much.
think um, it's important. It is
Yeah.
really important. You know.
It's very important.
Thank you, Sash. Thank you, Karen, very much.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure.
Always welcome.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.